Welcome. It's a pleasure, an absolute pleasure to be with you for a few minutes here on the rocking chair. If we've not met before, my name's Sue Gaskell. Sue Gaskell Barlow. I have lots of titles. They're not who I am. Lots of bits of paper. That's not who I am. So who am I? I am somebody who supports people. I love people. I'm a loving energy spirit. I'm everyone's friend. You don't have to be mine. I'd like to connect with you. I'd like you to think about your journey of life. Is everything working in your world? Have you got issues around relationships, addictions? Have you got issues around weight? Do you know how to say no? These and many, many more skills are the umbrella that I live my life under now. And the rocking chair experience, this is one of my favourite of all things to do. I sit here on this rocking chair, which I've had a year. Nice little story behind that. That'll be in one of my archive lives, the very first rocking chair. And when I sit on the rocking chair, excuse me, I'm in that place of mindful awareness where nothing matters. I'm talking to this lady, I see what you see, and I smile at her a huge amount these days because you see, she's my best friend and I'm hers. It wasn't always that way. There were decades where everything was my fault, in my internal chatterbox, where everything was my fault. I was in the blame-shame game. And if it wasn't my fault, on a rare occasion, in my thinking, then I'd find someone else to blame. And that was my reality of life: fear, blame, irrational fear, irrational guilt, and an inferiority complex and a self-esteem that just wasn't there. And that's just the way I lived my life until one day I just had to understand that something wasn't working. And so that led me to where I am today, a journey of exploration, seeking who I was, knowing that I was in there somewhere outside of all the roles I played and all the sub-personalities, and many, many times watching as yet again I was looking after somebody else and not looking after me. And what's wonderful is you can change if you choose to. You have to have faith in yourself, never give up on you, never. While ever you get up, you dust yourself down and you get on. You're here for a reason. We're spirit in a human physical body. And so in that, ego appears, our programming and our emotional well-being is at the mercy of other human beings, all doing the very best they can. And so we develop a mindset of programming, just like computers, we've got a programming that is talking to us 24/7. And we've got an emotional abundance of emotions that we only use a few of them. And even when we use them, we put them into boxes of good, bad, right and wrong, instead of just accepting they just are. And emotions are there to be used, balanced in a way that is healthy. In an orchestra of all of these beautiful instruments, the conductor balances everything out. And a drum roll won't do when a tambourine is needed. A drum roll won't do if a piano is needed and we use a guitar. And so the same it is with your emotions. Every single one of those emotions are there for a reason and need using in a healthy way, in an appropriate way as we go through our journey of life. We don't dump them on other people. They're ours to motivate, for us to move forward, to make our decisions and choices. And used properly with our mindset, which is also there for us to take control of, not for it to control us with programming that we've had since we were born. So we have to really be curious as to who we are. And as you learn, meditation is a wonderful thing, prayer, as you sit quietly, very quietly, then just be aware of what your mind's saying to you. Just listen, just listen. And then be aware of how your emotions are happening. If anything's happening with your emotions, just be aware. And then start focusing on the body, every part of the body, because all of this needs to cooperate so that we can do the most ordinary thing, which is, look at this. Something is telling my hands to move. It's all part of the whole. And so instead of taking for granted every single day and complaining about the bits that aren't going okay, let's celebrate what we do have. Look at your gratitude list. And remember, you create your own joy. And all this mindset, this programming, is not who you are. It's just something that's a 24-hour chatterbox. It's a chatterbox that keeps talking away to you, and you think that's who you are. Where in actual fact, detach yourself and watch the story. And then remind yourself, have I got the skills to deal with anything that arises moment by moment? And if the answer is actually no, because you're not only in pain sometimes, as we are as human beings, you add suffering to the pain by either blaming yourself, blaming somebody else, or wanting to change what is actually happening. So for instance, you open the curtains, and all depending on your programming, whether you're in charge of who you are, it's raining. What does your mind say? Write down, what does your mind say? You open the curtains and it's a really hot day. What does your mind say? You open the curtains and there's a grey sky. There's a blue sky. What does your mind say? How do you feel? Now that is key to how you live your life. It's key to seeing how you've been programmed. And if it's not what you want, because you're in the pity pot, the blame shame, the moaning brigade, that you want to change whatever is happening to suit you, then the great news is you can change all that. Because life's about joy, life's about loving, life's about enjoying every moment and being in the moment. And we're forever in the past, the present, the future, trying to change what is. And that's because we're fearful in our programming, conscious or subconscious. And so you can change all that. Anything that's not working, you can try, you can change. You can have an attitude of gratitude. You can be focused. You can accept the negative and the positive, the love and the fear, and all that comes with it. Just don't judge it. Don't try and change it. Just see it for what it is and let it go. And then come back to the moment and love yourself. Love every cell in your body. And if you're not in that place, then I welcome you to Sue's University of Life as we go through situations that aren't working for you. As you learn how to problem solve, as you learn to find out what is a problem that is a solution, and therefore that is gone, and what's an imaginary problem, which is coming from your past trauma or psychological past that's stuck, and therefore you're not able to move forward. Some new life skills are needed. It's as simple as that. Life isn't complicated. You don't have all the answers. I don't. Don't need them. Don't mind. And if you live your life in opinions, right and wrong, good and bad, you've already boxed yourself try and be more open. And if somebody else thinks something which is different to you, then how wonderful that you can actually say, oh, okay, and invite that person with an open question to say, okay, what makes you think that? No tone, no challenge, no attack, and then other people don't have to defend. So it's about attitude and manner, how we present ourselves, and if you're loving and joyful, then that's what you present to the world, and that's how you will experience life. If you've been, like myself, in the other place for decades, it's no good thinking, I wished I'd have known what I know now. That's called hindsight, we all know that. However, the journey was the way it was meant to be for you, and that was because we have to learn our lessons and we need to get back to love. And what we do is steer off the path, think we know the best, we know what's best, and try and control everything instead of trusting the process. So there's lots to learn. I look forward to sharing with you here on Sue's University of Life. If you've just come across me, then may I invite you to subscribe and go to my website, which is suesuniversityoflife.com. And there's lots and lots of videos that you're welcome to enjoy. You can sign up for my email newsletter, which is sue@suesuniversityoflife.com. And then anything that I want to send out, I can send to you. It won't be advertising. I'm not asking you to buy anything. You don't have to do anything. It's just that we're then in touch. And then there's a shop where if there's anything in there you'd like to buy, then there's a simple process of buying. And the shop is very small at the moment, products of different things that I have on offer. And so in there are 2 books I've already written, all about personal experiences. I'm in the process of writing a 3rd book. The first book is Eating Your Words, that led to an eating disorder lasting 30, 40 years, and self-help tips at the back of that. That's helped lots of people to realise things. So that's Eating Your Words. There's my Adventures book, which is about tinnitus. I've got tinnitus and how I deal with that on my adventures, and all sorts of fun as I change from fear to love. And the 3rd book is about reinventing myself now at 71 years of age, after 2 years ago my husband Steve dying of motor neurone disease. So that's a trilogy that I've put together. 2 books are already out there, and my eating plan, which is a healthy eating lifestyle plan. I have been the founder of Shoreway Slimming Clubs 40 years or more. Thousands have succeeded and many didn't, because we didn't have the key. And what is key is not going on a diet to come off it. It's following a plan whilst learning why you eat when you're not hungry. So that's there in the shop. And also you can sign up for a 10-week course, join my class, where you'll have the menu and me live and my expertise for 1 hour a week, live, and you can ask any questions here on Sue's University of Life. There's a forum that we can discuss things. So it's a very exciting time for me. So that my new website actually launched yesterday. Lots of things to tweak, and that's exciting. So for now, I'm saying to you, why do you eat when you're not hungry? And somebody, when I asked that question, said, mind your own business. And I just replied, never met the person, I just said, okay, sending lots of love. Because not everyone is ready. So if you are ready and you want to have that struggle finished so that you can learn for you what makes you tick, how to utilise things, then I would be happy to support you as you find out who you are. And if you don't know how to say no, then I can happily show you techniques so that you learn to look after you and stay safe. And relationships, well, in terms of relationships, I love empowering people. I don't give advice, I don't tell people what to do, I just ask the relevant questions. And it's such a joy to see people come into mindful awareness as they undo some things that aren't working and reinvent who they really are. So, see you soon. This is Sue Gaskell saying bye for now.